Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Planet X Cause Red Skies in Australia, Point to Possible Cataclysmic Events. Now, figures 1 and 2 below show the skies over Australia. In the first image, the atmosphere has turned red, and in the second, it has turned yellow. This is not due to red or yellow dust, though. Notice that in the first image, everything has turned into a different shade of red. There is no other color to see but red. What used to be light colored is now pale shade of red, and what used to be some other darker color is now a darker shade of red, but everything is red. This means that it is not the dust that is red, but that the atmosphere is being illuminated by red light only. And this is the image from November 21st, 2018. Now, if this was due to red dust, to a red dust storm, then there would be red dust, but there would still be white light reflecting off objects, which would thus still be their normal colors. White objects would still be white, and green objects would still be green. And so with some red dust in front of them, white objects must seem pinker, and green objects may have seemed yellowish, but there would still be different colors to see. This is not the case here. Everything is different shades of red. So there's only red light illuminating the atmosphere. So what could have caused this? Well, the Planet X system stellar cores are known to emit strange bright colors, and often a single bright color such as this red. So this is likely due to a Planet X system stellar core approaching the surface of the Earth, which emits this color of light, illuminating the atmosphere. The objects are usually surrounded by huge clouds of dust, which would enter the atmosphere and disrupt the sky simulation system. And you may look at article 291 entitled The Sun Disappears, Day Turns into Night. This would stop the emission of white light in the atmosphere, so there would only be red light coming from the stellar core's own emission to illuminate the atmosphere. These stellar cores emit bright light from the material which they draw from solar system objects, which then forms a coma around the object. Coma is an appropriate term because the objects come in as comets and are thus comets. And you may look at article 446 entitled When Did They Find Out That the Sun Was Dying? And coma is, of course, the term used to describe the light emitting part of the atmosphere which comets gain when they come in close to the sun. Now here you see the other photograph, and this one is from Australia as well, and you can see the sky looks yellow. Now yellow light is a mixture of red and green, so it shouldn't be surprising that we do see some red. Yellow is red and green. You see some red objects here, and you see that the pool looks green or light green. I'm sure though that this pool would most likely look more blue if there was white light illuminating it. Also there are some lamps here, but possibly are not doing much. So there is red. I don't see any blue. These trees here do not look green to me. They look some dark shade of red. So this again seems to be an atmosphere that is being illuminated by an object that is emitting this color of light, this yellowish. It's actually this burnt yellow. I've seen it many times, but never the whole atmosphere in this color. So a yellow light emitting stellar core seems to be illuminating the atmosphere in the above image. The stellar core must have made a very close approach to Earth. Large amounts of dust which surround these objects then enter the atmosphere, thus interrupting the sky simulation in the atmosphere. These events seem to now be happening more often. The whole atmosphere became red in a small town in South Africa in October of 2018. The strangely illuminated atmosphere is also not new in Australia. It seems to have first occurred in September of 2009. Something else happened in 2013. Now here's a photograph from the South African town of Alexander Bay, and as you can see, the atmosphere looked very red on that day. But it wasn't even as red as the one in Australia. This one looks almost orange. So there must have been a mixture of the red and the yellow here. The sky looks yellowish there, but everything here looks red, or some tone of red with a bit of yellow in it, so it looks almost orange. But there's no white, there's no blue, there's no green to be seen. The trees here, or a bush, which would have been green, but instead they are in this tone of red. So the same thing happened here, and this occurred in Australia in 2009. And although the authorities like to say that the color in the atmosphere is due to dust, this is not the case. The dust, if viewed in white light, will most likely look like sand and beige or brown. Dust in the air, even if red in white light, cannot cause everything to be in a tone of red. If there is white light illuminating objects, then objects will still have different colors. The fact that everything is in a red tone, including leaves, which should be green, you can see it. The leaves on the tree look red, shows that only red light is illuminating the atmosphere. So the dust interrupts the sun and sky simulation system in the atmosphere so that there is no emission of red light, and only the light illumination coming from the stellar core that has closely approached this region of the Earth is seen. The fact that this is happening more often is not a good sign. These objects are not benign. They cause fissuring of the Earth's surface, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, ocean recession, extreme high tides, and dangerous tidal waves. Thus, the increased incidence of these events, indicating that more of these objects are approaching the Earth, signals the possibility of cataclysmic events occurring on Earth as a result of these objects. And therefore it's becoming more likely. So you may look at article 429 entitled Planet X is here and having real effects on the Earth. So in conclusion, Planet X systems, stellar cores are closely approaching the Earth, bringing clouds of dust with them, which enter the atmosphere and stop the emission of white light in the atmosphere by artificial devices responsible for that light emission, so that the atmosphere is then illuminated by the single color of light which the stellar core emits. The increased incidence of these events brings the possibility of major cataclysmic events starting to occur on Earth. And those are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.